Hello students, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing great. So on my channel, I had posted a few videos on important questions on other law subjects like Constitution of India, jurisprudence, legal methods, and few other subjects. So a lot of students found those videos so helpful that one student even came to me saying that he had studied only the questions that I mentioned for Constitution 1, and in his question paper, he got all the common questions, like everything was asked from that sheet, whatever I had mentioned. So, definitely, important questions are something which help you, especially to prepare at the last moment if you have not studied all the subjects or everything properly. So, in today's video, I'm going to share with you some of the most common questions from administrative law subject. Now, whenever I share important questions, I also make it a point to mention that it's always better that you study everything if time permits. But yes, if you have limited time and you have started preparing at the last moment, definitely important questions are something which helps you. And also, if you are willing to get ready-made notes for all these questions, then notes are also available with me to know more details about the same regarding notes, recorded classes, live classes, regarding assignment writing, regarding your term paper, dissertation writing, and everything. You can always drop a message to my WhatsApp number for more details. But now let's begin with the most important questions from first unit of administrative law. So for administrative law, this is all the questions that we have. First of all, we have define administrative law, explain the nature and scope of administrative law. So the first unit is basically like an introductory part, and from there you can expect a question, something related to the nature, scope, etc. or definitions of administrative law. You can always study 2, 3, or 4 definitions, and these definitions you can make use of it if there is a direct questions on definition, and otherwise, also, if there is a question on nature and scope, there also somehow you can fit in the definition as well. Second question that we have is discuss the position of the doctrine of separation of powers in India with reference to the collegium system and appointing judges to the High Court and Supreme Court. So, what is the process of appointment of High Court and Supreme Court judges? And you need to explain the doctrine of separation of power in India, and you need to mention the collegium system, and in relation to that, you need to explain this doctrine over here. Explain the doctrine of separation of power in India with appropriate cases. Explain the various definitions of administrative law with its nature and scope. So this is something very important. This is similar to question number 1 also. Define administrative law, explain its nature and scope. So this is somewhat similar. Next we have is doctrine of separation of power is structural and functional. Examine the impact of on the growth of administrative law in India. Then we have explained the reasons for growth of administrative law. This is also a very common question. Mostly we see reasons for growth of administrative law. This question is properly answered in my notes also. We have proper reasons point wise. So you can definitely go through that part also. This is very important question. Then we have explained the doctrine of rule of law. The dividing line between judicial and quasi-judicial function is very thin and gradually been obliterated. Explain this observation in light of classification of administrative action. Then we have administrative law has been the result of the outstanding growth of 20th century. Examine with definitions of administrative law. Then we have discussed the relevance of the doctrine of rule of law and separation of powers in modern progressive administration. So these were all the long questions that we had. We had 10 long questions from Unit 1 of Administrative Law. And now let's look at the short notes. So first we have is distinguish between constitutional law and administrative law. Whenever there is a question on the differences, if you can give the differences in the form of a table, that always attracts the attention of the examiner. So you can try doing that, like the ground of difference, and then you can try to differentiate between the two laws or whatever is the question basically. Then we have write a note on judicial and quasi-judicial functions, write a note on joint administrative. This is also very common. Doctrine of separation of powers in Indian Constitution, define administrative law. So take for example this one, okay? It's a short note on definition of administrative law. There was this question, define administrative law, explain the nature and scope, okay? Here you can directly give the definitions. You can directly write 3-4 definitions and then you can move to nature and scope. But if it's a direct question only on definition of administrative law, there the examiner is expecting you to write the definition and maybe to write 1 or 2 lines about the criticisms on that definition or the importance or significance of the definition. If you open any book, right after the definition, you will be able to see that part also. So that thing will make the answer more proper for these kind of direct questions on definition part. Then we have explained separation of powers, relation between administrative law and constitutional law, write a note on rule of law. So these were all the questions which we had from Unit 1, 10 long questions and 8 short notes. Now, even though certain things are mentioned in short notes, while you are studying it, always prepare it for the highest mark that is there. Like if it is 16 marks question that you get, maximum marks is 16. Whatever topic you are preparing, right, prepare it for 16 marks, because even though earlier these questions were asked as a short note, it could happen that this year these questions are asked as a long answer. So always prepare it for that highest mark or that for maximum mark that is applicable for your question paper pattern. So that was all for the important questions from administrative law subject. I hope you found this video helpful, and I really hope that you will study these questions even more properly than the remaining other topics. And this is going to serve you in your exam. This is going to help you in your exam. So with that, all the best for your exams. Until we meet next time. Bye.